me share my screen. You have to allow it on your end. You just do it in the host preferences. You go to preferences.
Where I have to go to host. See, this is good. This is the content that people want right here. I'm in share screen, advanced sharing options. Yeah, let's do that. Yes. Got it. Yes. You should have that privilege.
Right on.
Oh, man. Welcome back to another episode of Jacob V Weekly. We want to start like we do every episode by reminding you to check out Caddyshack of New Hamel, Illinois, just outside of Edwardsville. Dear friends of mine, I happen to serve on the board of directors, as it were, for this small, humble cat rescue. We have saved over 1,000 cats, 100% local, 100% family-run, 100% non-profit. And, we could sell you something, but I'd rather you help some cats first. So let's start there. Also, the only way to officially sponsor, directly fund this show is patreon.com/JacobV. Patreon.com/JacobV. We have never missed a week of fresh, exclusive content on our Patreon. You get a minimum of 4 exclusive content drops per month, oftentimes more than that. The latest stuff that's on there I'm not even going to tell you about because it's stuff that's in the works, that's not public, that's not published, that you get an exclusive sneak peek at exclusively at patreon.com/JacobV. New music, bonus content. I think I'm going to start doing a Patreon radio hour every week where I do like a radio show for an hour, because I can record those and like not have to sit here for an hour in real time or whatever, but I can premiere songs on there and stuff. So I think we're going to do the first one of those next week. We just did a podcast from the road to Dayton, Ohio, and I wanted to do more of them, but it was a rocky trip. It almost didn't happen, and it was tumultuous every step of the way. Blinded by Stereo has a vinyl record out. We returned to Blind Bob's in Dayton, Ohio this past weekend to sell some copies of that record and play with some other great Dayton bands. And I like having a little place I can go and do a rock show and then come back, and it's like it never happened. I ate some ribs off of a trailer. This guy had a smoker set up in a parking lot, and I knew he wasn't homeless because he had a nice truck that he was waiting in when no one was there. Tyler was sick the whole next day, the whole way home, and I slept for 6 straight hours. So I don't know if the ribs were questionable. Mine were delicious, succulent, and what is so funny?
Nothing.
And Joe is here. Me and Joe talk on the phone usually for at least 90 minutes a day. And every fucking day I tell him, you piece of shit, you're wasting all this content not recording these goddamn phone calls. And now I know why. Because getting him into this Zoom to do this audio-only version of our podcast, which isn't even the most premium version, was a fucking nightmare. I have been down here for 40 minutes trying to get this show on the road. And this fucking piece of shit is just fucking me. But, Joe, the people miss you when you're not here. People ask about you all the time.
Yeah, I miss it. I miss it the most, for sure. This is not the return episode, but this is
it's just like, if I'm going to fucking talk to you for 2 hours on the fucking phone any day, anyway, I might as well fucking get you on mic for the fucking pod, you rat bastard.
100%.
But I wanted to stress that the free version of the pod is the only thing that has really lacked in its consistency. The Patreon content, I have never dropped the ball on those people. My mother-in-law is amongst the patrons on Patreon. Matt Riddle from Blinded by Stereo. People who I have relationships with. People that expect something from me. And those people, it's hard. And you know what? We started this podcast when I couldn't play music, right? Because of COVID. And I play music every day now. But I want to start podcasting at least once a week. I already have our next episode lined up after this one. This is going to be an early No, because we posted Saturday, so this one will be early, but it'll be for this week. And then we'll have a new episode next week, new things to promote, new things to do. Speaking of which, No Antics is as busy as ever. I knew I had this travel coming up for that gig in Dayton and whatnot, and so I ended up having to sit down and record almost an entire album's worth of keyboards on one Sunday afternoon over at Molly's. I sat down. I wish you could have been there, Joe.
Yeah.
I sat there for several hours and just stacked all my keyboard patches for all these different songs. So we had an idea. We started planning this full-length record we're working on and talked about all the singles that we had released up until the point the record will be done. I think it'll be 5 or 6 singles that'll be out. And we had talked about maybe including those on the record and then populating the record up to 10 or 12 songs. And then we thought, really, we have the material. What if we had the 5 or 6 singles, whatever it is? We'll find that out. And then just dropped a new album, full-length, totally fresh album, none of the singles on the album. And we had, we really liked that idea. So that's kind of where we're at. With that over at Operation No Antics, the Femme Grime is real. I believe most people have been reunited with their shirts from the pre-order, which was mostly successful. I confirmed today that the shirts were officially paid for, which was stressing me out because Venmo, if you have a small business, Venmo wants a piece. You know what I mean? And to make sure that I didn't have to pay like a third of our income in fees or whatever, I had to be really careful with how I paid for the T-shirts out of Venmo. If you really want to know the truth of it, I know Matt Riddle, shout out to Matt from Blinded by Stereo. We were worried that maybe we had sold his shirt in his size that he pre-ordered, and he thought that was whack, and I agreed with him. And then we determined that we had one, and that is going to resolve itself here shortly. So praise God. Joe, anything to add here?
No, that's great. Yeah, just happy to be back for the time being.
Wow.
No, nothing on my end.
Nothing on my end. Back to you.
Back to you, John.
Back to you. Let's see here. So No Antics. Currently we have A Fantasy, Grocery, Let Me Out, Listen, and Withdrawals, all released on your streaming platforms. Including Spotify, where I do Jacob V's favorite songs every month. We have not stopped doing that because that's the playlist I listen to throughout the month. And then when the month is over, I start a new playlist and I take you all along for the journey. So don't leave that on the table. If you're a Spotify listener, it's totally free to follow my monthly playlist. And on there you will find these 5 singles by No Antics. On Patreon, I've already shared the pre-save for the next single from No Antics called Blind. And that'll be out this month, I believe, next week. So, Joe, have you listened to all the No Antics stuff?
Yeah, it's really good. They're a really good band. It's really good writing. I was surprised by the lyrical value of the record. They didn't really, they didn't come across as exactly Kanye West, with the writing. So, I was very impressed with the writing.
I'm just every step of the way. You're making me regret involving in my life in any way.
Well, I was going to say Bob Dylan, but that,
No, but
Kanye
you know
West
what?
would be a
She's
better
a
example.
pioneer.
Yeah.
She went
That's true.
to Kirkwood High School too.
Yeah. It was good.
I think most of us in that band did. Everyone but Tyler on bass went to Kirkwood High School, I think. Which is only a flex because I feel like it tells some people that maybe I'm better than them. And I don't believe that, but if they do, that's what I want.
Yeah, that's definitely like a super affluent high school now.
Great.
It's definitely a flex. It's probably-
are you upset?
About what?
I don't know. I mean, it's like
I'm not.
I feel like I'm trying to sodomize a corpse over here. I feel like I'm trying to bring you back to life.
Yeah, I'm like a blow up doll. You have to bring back to
I see
life
here you got Jacob V's favorite
every
songs
day.
for October up. That was a good one that had a lot of No Antic stuff on it. There is a December up. That's December. I don't know.
I'm surprised by some of these songs.
No, well, this is what we should talk about. We should really talk about Jacob V's favorite songs on Spotify for December of 22 and how they.
What's this? Set Fire to the Rain. Adele?
Yeah.
Really?
Well, you know what? We should talk about this because I was having an extended. I'm a Johnny McGovern super fan. I'm in the Johnny McGovern is a longtime podcast pioneer and gay icon.
Oh, yeah.
And back when I thought podcasts were already a dead, arbitrary thing, like back when I was in high school, he had tons of episodes of The Gayest of All Time, featuring Johnny McGovern, the gay pimp. And I follow him on Patreon, and I'm in like one of his top tiers where I get like 8 podcasts from him a month or something, and they're really great. And actually, a feature on my favorite podcast of his called Menergy is his dear friend actor Teddy Margus, who was in the Dahmer Show on Netflix. I call it the Dahmer Show because it makes it sound like a late night talk show. He was the guy who ran the bathhouse that kicked him out. And the song before, the song he's listening to right before he gets kicked out is Menergy. That's the name of the song they're playing in the club. Funny. And I recognized it. And then he goes to the window, and it's Teddy standing there, and I love that. And
that is so funny.
But
you're the only person who saw that.
I'm the only person who recognized Teddy, and that's possible. Why were we talking about that? I was looking at the playlist.
We were talking about music. We were talking about Adele Set Fire to the Rain.
And then, I was listening to the Sissy Bestie tier today on Johnny McGovern on Patreon, Gayest of All Time. And they were talking about Adele's Vegas residency. She had canceled it for a long time, but I think she's doing it now. And then... and I was really thinking about, I really loved Adele's first album. 19 came out when I was 17, I think.
Really?
Or 18, maybe.
That long ago?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah. Great.
That's crazy.
Damn.
That was it. I mean, you're like...
I was a senior. I was a senior
years ago?
I was a senior in high school, and I remember reading the album review in the Kirkwood Call of 19.
That is so
but here's the
crazy.
thing. There's several really up-tempo, funky little numbers on 19. Like Right as Rain, or I just love that album, right? And she had written so much of it herself and whatever. But then 21 had a lot to do with that transition to the ballad kind of version of her thing. Like if we look at this, so 21 though had a couple funky numbers still. So 19, Daydreamer is absolutely gorgeous and jazzy. Chasing Pavements had a big video. Go to the track listing for me. Track listing. And Best for Last is absolutely gorgeous. See, she wrote most of these all by herself. And Cold Shoulder is funky as hell. That's Mark Ronson produced that one, and it sounds like a Mark Ronson. A lot of these are really classic and stripped down and very minimal. And there's Make You Feel My Love, which is a Bob Dylan song that Garth Brooks also did, and that's kind of popular. But anyway, it was a really great album. And then go to 21. And so let's identify some of the same things in 21.
That was 2011?
Yeah, so see, Rumor Has It, hella so funky. Weird. And they did it on, did Rumor Has It on my favorite show, NBC's Smash, which was about these people making a musical about Marilyn Monroe. And there's one where Catherine McPhee, I think is her name, goes to like a karaoke bar with her gay friends from dance class, and they do a number to Rumor Has It at the karaoke bar, like for a bunch of people that didn't ask for it. Rick Rubin did which one?
He did.
Don't you remember? Oh, I don't know that.
That's actually kind of surprising. I would have thought he did
like one that we knew.
That's weird.
But like Love Song was cool. That's a
oh no, he did. He did
a cover.
See. He also did.
But Someone Like You was the big smash here. Rolling in the Deep is pretty funky. Rumor Has It's hella funky. Set Fire to the Rain was nice and dramatic, but that's really at best like a power ballad. And then since then, it's really been just so much of the ballad. And I love Adele, and I love her voice, and I love her fat, and I love her skinny, and I love her all the time. But
That's a true Adele fan.
But I don't need to be sad all the time. If I want to be sad, I do have a playlist for this called Sometimes I Get Sad. And it's a lot of songs that just make you want to cry immediately. But I need more screens, bitch. Here,
I saw her in Chicago in like 2016, I think.
Really?
Yeah, and she was very surprised. Like, it was just surprising how bad her stage her jokes were horrible, and just like it was like she was doing a karaoke. She talked about, because she did the Skyfall theme, and she was like, and they told me I couldn't tell anybody that I was doing the song, and so I felt like a secret agent, and then the song starts. I'm like, that what? It was really funny. She was good though. She has a beautiful voice.
Oh yeah, but I just I wish we got some more of those snappy little numbers out of her. She's got more. She's only 30. She'll be okay.
Yeah, I can't believe that. That's just so wild that she. Wait, hold on. Was she 19 on that first album?
Well, she was 19 when she wrote it, so I think she's actually probably 2 years older than me if you look at the album cycle. But
because you said that she was 30, I was like,
no, she was 30 when she wrote the
way.
last album, which was 30. But she's probably older than that. We can look this up. I think she was born in 89. Is it up there? Adele. 88. So she's 34. Yeah.
That's weird. Mm-hmm. She was young. I had no idea how young she was.
Yeah. So she was probably 2 years older than me when that album review appeared in my school newspaper.
She had kind of a scare. She was gonna didn't she have a surgery on her vocal cords, and she was gonna not be able to sing?
Yeah, it was really rocky for a long time.
That's scary. Ugh.
But that's part of why she's on Jacob V's favorite songs on Spotify for December 22. What else is on there? Now on this list a lot you will see Take a Letter Maria with Hey Hey What Can I Do? So R.B. Greaves and Led Zeppelin, because they're very similar songs. And I keep thinking about working out a medley of them. Yeah. Another Lonely Christmas is my favorite Christmas song. It's a Prince B-side. I just put all the No Antics stuff on there. There's a new single coming out the 16th. You can pre-save that on Spotify, but I can't add it to the playlist until it's out. Rising Water is my favorite song right now by James Vincent McMorrow. It's in B flat, I figured out, which is my key. A diva has a key.
He's got a cool look. He's in kind of like a janitor's outfit. Yeah. With like a sailor cap on. It's like a Wes Anderson.
He looks like Steve Zissou, like one of the interns. If you told me, isn't that one of the Zissou interns? I'd be like, absolutely.
That's great.
And what else? You're Not Good Enough is a forgotten classic. Love Blood Orange. Also, I see Hot Mulligan on there. If you're not listening to Hot Mulligan, you're a piece of shit. I love them.
I've never heard of this.
Oh, God. That song is great. See, you're obviously not listening to the fucking Spotify playlist. You fucking...
Who are these guys?
That's Hot Mulligan, dude.
Yeah, everybody knows them.
Equipped Sunglasses is the jam. Yeah, that he plays. I think they have a Reverend Guitars endorsement because I saw them on one of those From the Basement shows on YouTube.
Yeah,
they had a bunch of fresh Reverend guitars.
It's a fabulous endorsement. It's very nice.
And they're that kind of band. It fits their thing. Yeah. Death Cab for Cutie and the Postal Service are touring together, playing their seminal 2003 albums in full. I think Postal Service is definitely on my Sometimes I Get Sad playlist. For sure. My wife, I remember when I was like a sophomore or maybe a junior in high school, Death Cab came to the pageant and a lot of people went, and my wife was there. And she said he came out and did like a drum solo on just a snare drum by himself for like an inappropriate amount of time, and she kind of got bored after that.
Yeah, that's tacky. That's some like Sonic Youth.
It's like wrap it up, Ben.
Yeah, I saw the bass player for Sonic Youth, and there was no, I realized halfway through the show that there was no drummer. I'm like, oh no, there is no drummer. I'm like, when's the drummer coming out? Because this sucks.
Yeah, I opened for Stu Ham one time at Foo Bar, and he's a famous like hair metal bass player guy, prog dude, and he just played by himself with a looper and told a lot of stories, and I got too drunk, and then people kept telling me to shut up. He was a sweet guy, though.
Yeah. It was a similar thing, but what was really annoying was they were it was her and two young, unidentifiable gender people, and they were kind of they were just up there acting like they were on drugs, like running around the stage and like smashing their guitars and stuff. But they never played a song from a record. They never. I realized, oh, this is just a performance, like it's an act. But really, what annoyed me is, if you're not on drugs, I think there's something kind of like, disingenuous about acting like you're on drugs on the stage. Like, you know what I mean? Like you're running around like you're Jim Morrison, but you're just totally sober. That's
hamming it up.
weird. Yeah.
Did you ever see Lord of War starring Nicolas Cage?
Yeah, I love that movie.
It turns out that is based off of the same Victor Bout that they just exchanged for Brittany Griner today.
What?
Yeah, that's
the guy?
That's the guy.
That's
Victor
crazy.
Bout, Bout, is... Yep,
that's crazy. He's much more attractive than Nicolas Cage.
That's weird to say.
He looks like the Top Gun guy.
Yeah, he didn't have the mustache when I saw him get off the plane today.
That's good. I mean, it would be funny if he... Yeah, that's great. I'm not going to tell that joke.
Yeah, but...
That's a good look.
Yeah.
He's a handsome guy.
Oh, sure. Yeah, he didn't... I don't think he had the mustache at the airport today. I saw the...
What happened in Lord of War again?
That's the one where Jared Leto is his brother, and they're selling these guns to these African warlords, and then Jared Leto tries to sabotage the trade with a grenade, and they kill him, and then Nicolas Cage has to go ahead and make the deal anyway. And this is the problem with this guy. Is I am not for the people that are anti-Brittany Griner coming home, because I feel like they don't value her as a person. And however, this guy also is responsible for the death of countless Africans. I mean, he was selling guns to all sorts of really politically active, we'll say, groups of people throughout the world, but particularly in Africa before he was arrested, and it was kind of not good. What are they gonna do with him? That's a great question, Joe.
Why Victor Bout's return? This is CNN's reliable news source.
You're recording your audio,
There's
right?
A giant ad. Yeah, I'm recording audio. There's a giant ad here that I can't see, but
God.
Here we go. It is.
Here, let me read it. It is the most uneven of swaps at the most unlikely of times, but perhaps the intense pressure of this moment is why the exchange of a U.S. basketball star for a Russian arms dealer ended up happening now. On the surface, Brittany Griner and Victor Bout are accused of ludicrously different crimes. Griner was sentenced to a Russian penal colony for possession of a single gram of cannabis oil. Bout is allegedly the most prolific arms dealer of the past decade. Of the past decades. I didn't write this. This is from CNN. Fueling conflicts in Africa and beyond. What did I say? And more specifically, being convicted in a U.S. court of plotting to kill Americans. He was going to sell guns to people we were fighting against, I think. But the circumstances and political pressure on both sides reversed this imbalance.
They were American arms, I guess.
Well, I thought he was living in America when he got arrested.
That's so weird.
I don't. To begin negotiations with the Kremlin at the worst point of U.S.-Russian relations since at least the end of the Cold War go down.
There's always been a bigger puzzle. How can one man be so valuable?
Oh, he is a pilot and an entrepreneur who's a military translator with a Soviet past. Allegations of intelligence affiliations. I mean, he's got plenty of work to do for Russia, is what I'm hearing.
Well, here we go. But there are allegations he worked in Russian intelligence and became an asset for them. Oh, you said that. I'm sorry. I didn't hear that. I was reading as well. My bad. That is so weird. It's like, we'll trade you Osama bin Laden. And you can have a basketball player that did nothing wrong.
Yeah.
That followed that was acting lawfully on American soil.
But wasn't.
If they were on American soil.
Yeah, right.
But wasn't. If they were on American soil. Yeah.
I mean, if an American goes to Singapore and chews gum, do we let him kill him?
It's illegal to chew gum in Singapore?
By death, I thought.
What?
Look that up. God damn it. I got to catch you up on everything.
Yeah, I got to on the whole
This
world,
is like
apparently.
in Where the Heart Is, that Natalie Portman movie where she has the baby in the Walmart and she says, I got to look up.
It's just banned.
I got to look up. You're not going to do any further
Dental nicotine chewing gum. Nicotine chewing gum.
It is not illegal to chew gum in Singapore, but it is against the law to import it and sell it. Oh, okay. Okay. Well, okay. Thank God. Because if you're selling gum in Singapore, I can't help you. I'm not sending the Navy to get you if you're selling gum. I had a gift card and a card from a student for Chick-fil-A, so I dined with the devil yesterday afternoon. And actually, you know what happened that was beautiful? I got the nuggets with the Polynesian sauce, because I remember I like the Polynesian sauce from back when people used to eat Chick-fil-A.
In the 60s.
Back before the dark times. And I got so ravenous that I didn't eat all of my
fries.
No, I didn't eat all my Polynesian sauce. So today I had an extra Polynesian sauce, and I had 2 Filet-O-Fishes from the McDonald's. And so I had a little Polynesian sauce with my McFish.
With your fish, that's good.
With my fish, dog.
Yeah, that's good. That's like putting the Taco Bell sauce, like the salsa, on all different types of other fast food.
Yeah,
that's good.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Oh yeah. If you could save yourself some fucking Taco Bell fire sauce for a McDonald's breakfast burrito the next day, I mean, you'll have diarrhea in style, sister. Yeah. Cannabis. Possession of 3 ounces or less of cannabis in Missouri is officially legal today. Sale for recreation likely will not start until January, but possession of up to 3 ounces of cannabis is officially decriminalized entirely in the great state of Missouri. I never thought I'd see the day.
Really?
If I could go back in time and describe present day to my child self, I would have made my decisions in life at least slightly differently.
Oh.
I mean, it's just a different world than we ever thought possible. And that's, you know what really upsets me about cannabis legalization is that I feel like it's being used as a concession by the establishment to get us off their backs about other things.
Yeah, it's like they're throwing us a bone, and
it's like, listen, we're not going to fix healthcare. Why don't you guys just have some weed?
Yeah, the biggest. Yeah, we all knew that the thing that people have been fighting for like 30, 50 years, they've been keeping in their back pocket, and they're covering something up. They were like, we're going to do it this year because we have to cover up that big thing that we've been hiding, right? Is that what you're saying?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, I agree. Probably has something to do with the fact that Trump's still president.
Well, and that's the thing, is that Joe Biden is a clone of a satanic pedophile that's already been executed, tried by a secret military thing, and Jesus is coming back, and we all just need to wait.
Yeah,
we all just need to hold fast.
This is the BBC. No. Oh, I don't know. I'm just looking up information about the legalization. I know Mizzou, so like the University of Missouri campuses are still, they're not going to let kids smoke weed it's still illegal on University of Missouri campus.
Alrighty.
I hate Zoom.
No, it's good. It's good. It's good. Can we talk about Justin at the Wood Springs fucking hospice hotel in Dayton, Ohio, that I had the misfortune of checking in with the other evening? This is why we didn't do a podcast that night, and why I was so upset I had to sleep the whole way back. I couldn't do a podcast on the way home. We get in to Dayton. We meet the crew at the hotel, and we're in the lobby, and Eric is checking us in. And Eric has used his Southwest miles to book us some shit, and the room's already paid for and everything. Well, this guy gets on the phone with his boss and says, this is a premium hotel. Why are we selling rooms for $75 a night? And
in your face.
He's giving us, we're all standing there. And there's 5 of us with all of our luggage in this tiny lobby. It's one of these corporate fucking extended stay hotels or whatever. Like, we had a full-size fridge and shit because people live there for a week.
So they're dumb.
And yeah, it's a premium hotel, Joe. And so it took us forever literally like 20 minutes to check in. He kept calling his boss because he didn't understand the pricing of the room that we had paid for ahead of time. But, because of our, privileges as members of several different, groups, I think the money from the gig paid for the rental in the hotel for the most part. We sold some records and worth it overall. I would absolutely do it again. Driving that long, though, you want to play for longer.
Yeah. Well, how long was it? 45 minutes?
Maybe.
Oh, no.
What?
Like less than 45 minutes?
No, it was probably 45 minutes.
Okay, right on.
And, I had a great time and loved the people there, specifically at that venue. It's always a nice environment, and food's good and overall and whatnot, but taxing nonetheless.
Yeah.
Al contributed something to the show today. Our good friend Al Ludwig, our legal correspondent to the show. I had a lovely gig with him recently. We play for this choir called Charis, and CH. And they're great, and we do a couple shows with them a year if we're lucky. And he said, "Hello, you've been referred here because you're wrong about Twitter and Hunter Biden's laptop." Uh-oh. Let's see. If you're being wrong about Twitter and the Hunter Biden laptop, there's a decent chance that you're also wrong about Section 230, so you might want to read that too. I haven't read this yet. I saw he posted it. I've been hearing so much about this lately. Here, do you want me to drop this to you?
No, I got it right here. I'm pulling it up. Laptop. Which line? Which section of it?
Well, I'm on this article on Tech Dirt that's claiming to fix some things here. So let's see. If you said Twitter's decision to block links, the New York Post was election interference. It's got Twitter's decision to suppress the story was a big deal in May. A swung. Nah. The government pressured Twitter and Facebook to block this story, and that's a huge First Amendment violation. Although several sources recalled hearing about a general warning from the federal law enforcement that summer about foreign hacks, there's no evidence that I've seen of any government involvement in the laptop story. Oh, that's good to know. I'm just looking at some things here that we should know. This seems like a very official, Alfred Ludwig approved source.
Twitter implemented its hacked materials policy in exactly the manner that we warned might happen a month earlier, blocking the sharing of the NY post link. Facebook implemented other protocols, reducing its distribution. That's what pisses me off. Is the fucking? It's not because it's even more insidious than that. Like they're reducing. We're gonna have less of that on. Like that's more fucked up than just blocking.
Yeah, I think you're right because that's the that participation and control there. It's like either block it or don't, but really curating which details and which links and which stories and which posts and which leaks or whatever that's more nefarious, I think, than all or nothing.
Yeah.
So good. We solved that one. Here's my thing. It's just not even in my 10 top most aggravating things about the current administration. Like Hunter smoking crack and taking pictures with prostitutes on his laptop is not even in the top 10 for me of what bothers me about the current administration. Does that make sense?
Yeah. I mean, he probably smoked more mozzarella.
No, it was Parmesan cheese. Parmesan cheese. And you would certainly anyone, more than anyone you would know. Tammy. Tracy was so Tracy. Funny. I smoked so much Parmesan cheese.
The only impression we do for anybody is what's her name? What's the only impression we ever do is
Lori Lightfoot?
No. Big Ange.
Big Ange. I forgot about R.I.P.
It's always Big Ange.
Yeah. That's my favorite.
That's our main Big interpretation. Ange. Big Ange.
She'd have. I think she's a Trumper, right? She's dead now.
Yeah, 100%. She passed away.
Oh yeah, she is my favorite. I remember watching her on Good Morning America making a Belvedere vodka martini,
Yeah, right. That's your ongoing joke.
No, it's what I witnessed. It's my Big Ange. That's my connection. I watched her live on TV, 9 in the morning, making a martini with Belvedere vodka, which is the best
You have
vodka.
to be proud. You have to be proud to look like that, because if you aren't proud, your life would just be a horror. You know.
Yeah.
Anyway. Oh my god. You know what? I know we're not going to talk about FTX, but
I'm just
that's what
not
makes
really
these-
read into it.
Well, so FTX, like, it's kind of like the biggest scandal that's happening right in front of our faces. So, like, the FTX is they're guilty of losing as much money as Murdoch did. Sorry, not Murdoch. Madoff did, and he donated so much money to the liberal media and the conservative media that nobody, if the conservative media is having people on the show talking critically about it, but if you watch the co-hosts aren't saying anything that would slander Bankman-Fried. And it's because Fox News and CNN basically had the same ownership. It's crazy. And he donated so much money to both the Republicans and the Democrats that, like, nobody will talk bad about him when he's committed this really bad crime. And it's just wild. Like, the New York Times was like, Bankman-Fried, guilty of trying to do something right. It's like these headlines that I'm just amazed by.
Yeah, it's like whenever like something's going on and like dudes in the NBA won't talk about China. You know what I mean?
Right. Yeah, 100%.
It's like, what is the deal? Why?
Yeah.
Why are all these young black guys so touchy about China?
Yeah, and they'll acknowledge, like, non-verbally what's going on, but if they won't get on, like, any record of saying anything negative,
Yeah, exactly. What do you got here?
I was just looking at, like,
Who's
who. This is him. This is Sam Bankman-Fried.
Sam Bankman-Fried is his name?
Yeah, both of his parents. Everybody knows all about this
My
story.
thing is,
Both of
where
his
is he?
He's in not Jamaica. He's in the
Bahamas?
the islands, the Bahamas right now, because it's off American soil.
I've been to the
But they
Bahamas.
seized
I didn't know
everything.
there was no extradition out of the Bahamas. I'd have stayed there.
Both of his parents were
Jamaican
professors at
cruise liner?
Stanford. No, they're professors at Stanford, law professors. Look, it's hilarious.
So that's how he knew to go
Eggs.
to go to the Bahamas.
No, but look at who they are. They're I forget their title. They're
like on an ethics council.
They're basically
or something?
compliant. No, they're like compliance lawyers. Like they're like financial compliance. Like it's like the craziest thing. Anyway, it's just a wild story. I know we weren't going to talk about it.
No, I mean, but I want to know. I want to know, why is it so wild? So, okay, so this guy was selling a currency.
Yeah,
And then
he was making his own currency, and then buying up. He was minting his own currency and buying up other rare pieces of currency, but basically assigning his own value to it. So people were investing, and he was putting all the money in this currency that had no value before he created it. So it was basically like opening up your computer and creating a new a folder, but then claiming that folder is a currency. Because there's and then he was doing the Ponzi scheme where he's on top of that, anybody new coming in, he distributes their money to the longtime investors, and that was going on for so long. And then his girlfriend, who was part of a different fund, but it was all part of kind of the FTX blanket, look at her, man, it's hilarious. And this is all old news, but this is her.
Oh no,
she's basically one of the brokers. And she was one of the CEOs at one point, I believe.
Is she in jail?
That may be fake news. That may be fake news. You see?
Is she in jail?
No, she's going to get off. So she's ratting, and she's going to. She's basically complying with the court system, and she's going to give them as much information as they want. And she's just. Yeah. Okay. So former CEO of Almada Research, and Almada Research was, I think, tied in a lot of ways to the FTX blanket. So it's just wild, and they were part of like a 8-person relationship. I guess it was some sort of polygamous thing. But this guy, I mean, like, I remember it was so funny. It was like 3 or 4 years ago I heard about him, and I was like, man, I'm just doing nothing with my life. I'm 21, and I just, this guy he's handling billions of dollars. I'm such a loser, and now I'm hearing about this. It's like, well, I think we keep giving all our money to all these young people because we believe Facebook is going to happen again, and rich people need to stop giving their money to like 22-year-olds. It's their fault. And that's what makes me so mad. It's the same thing that makes me mad about Theranos is, honestly, FTX and Theranos, none of those people should go to jail because they should treat the rich the same way they treat, the poor, where, oh, well, you made a risky decision, so you just lost, But when the rich people lose, they get to send people to jail for 10 years,
But isn't the allegation that he misled these people?
Yeah. No, he definitely lied.
Okay, good. I'm glad we cleared that up.
Yeah.
Well, so I guess what does that include? We covered the Hunter Biden laptop. We solved that, thank God. Peace in the Middle East, finally. And then we got FTX off the board. That's great. What else? I think that's it. I mean, I really don't know. I mean, I don't have any. Joe, talk to me about.
Did you ever?
What?
So you have a legal marijuana card, don't you?
Yeah.
You don't need. You still need that now, but you can just drive around. Can you smoke in your car, or does it have to be at home?
You're not supposed to smoke while you're operating a motor vehicle, Joseph. You know that.
Oh, so can I drink in my car?
Yeah, you could just pop a beer open in the car.
That's funny. So so it's treated basically like prescription medication. So you have to like be kind of at home, and when you take it, and you have to take it, maybe. Can you so if you get pulled over and the police smell weed, can they get mad about it, or they just have to go?
I mean, you're not supposed to be under the influence of it while you're driving, so that would probably be the basis of their questioning, and then they'd want to make sure you don't have enough to, traffic, which is anything over the 3-ounce limit. But the 3 ounces is a lot.
Here we go. Check this out, man. St. Louis mayor appoints commission to consider reparations. We're gonna be a reparations state, man.
Oh, really? Can she do that?
Yeah. Apparently she can. Appointing a reparations commission that will recommend a proposal to begin repairing. This is the St. Louis mayor.
I know who that is.
Yeah, you voted for her.
Listen, don't throw that back in my face.
I didn't mean to dox you. To begin repairing the harms that have been inflicted by slavery, segregation, and racism. Okay. Joins a growing list of places trying to determine how to make amends for past practices. I think that would be good for St. Louis.
What?
I don't know, some free money.
Yeah, where's it come from?
Probably not the taxpayers.
What?
I'm just joking.
Can I get some
concerns
free money?
about racial Concerns about racial discrimination in the St. Louis area were amplified in 2014 when Michael Brown. Yes, I recall this. I recall Michael Brown. Do you remember Michael Brown?
Of course, I was teaching at the time.
You were teaching, huh? So were you? Did you teach Michael Brown?
No.
You were a teacher?
No, he was too old.
On Wednesday, signed an executive order establishing a volunteer commission that will. It's a volunteer commission, so they're not paying anybody on the panel. Ultimately, recommend how they're just getting some professors to give some ideas. This is all this is about. This is some brownie points. That's exciting, though. Good for her. Good for her.
Well, you have to make those political moves in order to start that conversation and to really figure out what does improvement for the future look like? And so I feel like we got to go down this road to determine if it's something that's really going to be helpful or not. I know plenty of communities that are majority people of color that don't have a lot of the amenities that other communities enjoy. So, if we could start to heal.
So you're pro corporations?
I'm open to it, is all I'm saying. I would definitely love to see.
You seem hesitant.
Well, no, I'm certainly open to it. I mean, you don't just want to dump money into the streets, but if there's a proof that, a certain population has been disenfranchised or wronged in some way, and then we know that a certain financial movement can address and correct some of that injustice, I mean, I'm certainly open to hearing how it goes.
Yeah. Yeah, that's good.
That guy went to jail. That guy, the corruption scheme, alderman dude.
What is that? What happened with that?
Just corruption, just good old fashioned taking bribes. Taking bribes and shit. Go ahead and click on it.
I want to know. I want to know the full story. Where is it?
I don't see it.
I'm just going to look it up. St. Louis Alderman.
Was it an alderman? Sentence and corruption scheme. That's the one I was looking at here. Who do we?
I heard about this. Yeah, look at that. The fur.
I like the fur, but that's a black coat with a navy. Somebody's putting his looks together that isn't me, because I like it. I just don't know that I would do a black coat with brown fur with a navy felt hat.
It's a GQ. Yeah, it's like a GQ.
It's edgy. It's like for a while everyone was really into clashing patterns, like mixing patterns, like leopard and zebra, and I'm like, listen.
Ill-gotten gains from the scheme. For
what scheme though?
Reed, that means an 18. Okay.
So they're all getting fined.
Maximum. Federal prosecutors. Some suit. The facts are, Your Honor, I screwed up. That's great.
And he teared up. But what did he do? I don't remember.
What did he do?
They took a bribe or something.
Offering to pay for the... No. They're just telling about the court case. Hold on. Indicted. What did they do?
This is the worst.
Yeah.
Two current, one former alderman indicted on what though? You fucking scroll right past the fucking headline.
The indictment lays out a years-long scheme.
Ooh, Collins, Muhammad, and later Reed sought to help the business owner referred to in the indictment as John Doe obtain a significant property tax abatement for a new gas station and convenience store development in Collins, Muhammad's ward. Doe estimated the abatement could be worth $20,000 to $30,000 per year over the next 10 years, so $300,000 in tax abatements. In all, Reed accepted $9,000 in cash from Doe, the indictment alleges. So, yeah, it took some cash for a tax abatement.
I think
campaign contributions, cash, new iPhones. I mean, cookie jar, brother.
iPhones,
a separate
really?
scheme set out in the main indictment involved Doe's purchase of a commercial property on Geraldine Avenue in St. Louis from the city's Land Reutilization Authority, which owns and sells vacant property. The property was in Boyd's ward. So it wasn't just the bribe for the tax abatement, but also to get his pick of Land Reutilization Authority taxpayer-owned properties, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, the LRE valued at $50,000. Doe estimated it would have cost $252,000 to have it privately sold.
Wire fraud. Is there a C? We're on Project B.
No,
but wire fraud is definitely going to be just part of that.
Yeah, that's heavy.
$250,000 fine for what? A judge is required to consider U.S. sentencing guidelines. I think the sentencing's already happened. This is of the indictment, but
this is the maximum
like I said, good
penalties.
old-fashioned cash bribes and shit.
Yeah, that's
just. I know.
sad.
I'm loving it. I'm loving every minute of it.
Meanwhile, St. Louis is going through like enough bullshit. Like
Yeah, it's like, I don't need bribes.
teachers.
Guys, we can't be taking bribes right now. Nobody's in the schools.
I mean, teachers are making $20,000 a year, and kids aren't getting an education, and high schools aren't getting accredited, and it's just horrible. And meanwhile, people.
Meanwhile, we're taking bribes for tax abatements. That's big business, though. If you can get it.
I don't know. That's just so irritating. I just don't understand.
Joe, does this contact information for the show work? This jacobvweekly@gmail.com?
Yeah.
And
somebody sent us their beats the other day.
What?
Yeah, somebody sent us their beats. You didn't see that?
No. When were you going to tell me this?
Well, I think it was in the shared email we have.
I don't know if I'm logged into it, though, is the thing.
Yeah, and neither am I, apparently.
Oh, good. Well, we got some dates coming up. I have a podcast planned this month with my uncle, Chris Anich, local actor and educator, who has a new project out on Spotify and also available in local record stores called Boys with Scarves. Long-form audio sketch comedy. Yeah, we always listen to the Jerky Boys on road trips with him. And old
that's awesome.
prank calls and stuff. And so it's sort of looking at, a resurgence in the audio comedy format. You should go check that out. He's going to be on the show next week to talk about that great project. Also, Blinded by Stereo's playing with Jesus Christ Supercar at Old Rock House, 12/17, December 17th, year of our Lord, 2022.
That's going to be a great show.
Very big show. 12:30 at Off Broadway. No Antics with Middle Class Fashion and Blonde Guru. That's going to be really lit. The day before New Year's Eve.
I'm a Blonde Guru.
That's going to be
touring
great.
band.
Yeah, I'm trying to get Noah and Matt Basler both to come on the show together to promote that show. So look forward to that. Follow us wherever you get your podcasts. Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Podbean, Google, whatever. Subscribe, rate, review, share. Any interaction helps. We have an Instagram page for the show at Jacob V Weekly. You can contact the show at jacobvweekly@gmail.com. We're making sure we can log into that right now. You can call the show at 314-632-6602. Is that still up and running?
Yeah.
Okay, good. I have to figure out how to get into that. So you can figure that out while I'm...
it's on my phone.
Yeah, that's great. You can also find original music by me on all musical platforms, Spotify, Apple Music, Amazon. We talked about Jacob V's favorite songs on Spotify. We're up to December 22. We've been doing that for over 2 years now, so keep track of those. Joe, anything for the audience? I'm so glad you're here.
Yeah, I'm contacting you right now from Sullivan. I'm just, just going to school. I'm at S&T, and it's I miss being on the show, and I miss how high we could fly if we could just do full-time Jacob V Weekly. That may happen next semester if I bomb my finals.
Yeah, if you fail this final, we're going full-time, baby.
Yeah. So are there any Patreon subscribers that really want more content? Just rig my car so I can't get to the finals or something. That might be cool.
Yeah.
There's a lot of ideas there. I don't know. It's been a rough year. I got fired from my restaurant job.
Yeah, I'm sorry about that.
For harassment.
Well, you don't have to tell people that.
Yeah, no, it's funny. Yeah, and then no, I'm just working at another restaurant now. Actually, closer, and making a lot more money, so it's good. It needed to happen. And,
yeah. See, God has a plan.
It did. I was praying to have some sort of different situation. Make itself present, and that is what happened. It just was much harsher fashion than I'd hoped. So it's been a rough year, but it's we're still going. It's a normal life for an S&T student.
Did you ever see the movie Out of Sight with George Clooney and Jennifer Lopez?
No. Let's see.
There's a part where they talk about. You ever seen a regular uncut diamond?
Is that another movie?
No. In Out of Sight, they talk about, have you ever seen an uncut diamond?
No.
It looks like a regular old rock.
Oh, yeah, that's a good one.
And see, that is God's plan.
That's true, yeah.
God's plan is right in front of us, but we have to reveal the plan by cutting away the smog of doubt and revealing the pathway forward.
That's right. That's right.
So I just think about that, and I sit here and I just wig out.
You really, you're so well versed, like it would be funny if you like sarcastically put together a like worship service, like an outdoor worship service. Cause like, exactly how to do like that kind of music, you just like talk over like a somber delay guitar, and like, you just know everything you have to say. It's so easy to tap into that enthusiasm, that Christian enthusiasm. You would do such a good job because you know all the language so well.
Well, I am a reverend.
You'd be really good at that. Yeah. Oh, that is true. I forgot. Yeah. The Reverend Jake V. Yeah. Yeah, it's been a rough one.
Well, man.
Miss you.
Well, I talk to
Sorry, I call you every day.
No, it's my favorite. What are you talking about?
No, we have good times. You should see Jake's studio right now. It's fucking baller. It's like he's got he probably have like $100,000 in gear down there.
I don't know. I've been selling a lot of stuff.
No, you know what you have. So here's Jake's address if you want to make $100,000.
Yeah, and on your way here, if you find my goddamn kick drum that got stolen out of my fucking alley with my paper towels.
You got robbed, kick drum robbed? Oh, yeah. Oh, that's rough. I went to a concert once and it was like, they were coming through St. Louis and it was like he's such a good artist. He actually is a professor now at Lipscomb University, but he came through on like his one and only tour. And immediately when he pulled into St. Louis, somebody stole his drummer's prosthetic leg. So
what the fuck?
It was a free show, and he goes, so if, it's a free show, but if anyone wants to donate a couple dollars, our drummer had his prosthetic leg stolen, and it's just like that's St. Louis, brother. Hey,
the most St. Louis thing. Welcome to town, bitches. I'll be taking that leg.
It's so fucked up.
Are you guys in a band? Oh, cool. I'm gonna just take this leg.
I mean, like, what? Like, it's like I like to see like it's like it's the gang meetup in the evening with like, okay, what you guys cop today? It's just like everybody's laying out. Like,
I got
TVs
13 iPads. I got a Chrysler 300. I got some fucking drummer's prosthetic leg. It smells like a hockey bag.
It's like what the fuck is this?
Like a rancid, beat up prosthetic.
It's so stupid. I mean, like, why? It's so shitty. It's such a shitty move. I don't know. It's so funny. Classic St. Louis move.
I was just going to say classic. Yeah, we're just bribing aldermen and stealing legs up here.
Stealing legs. Yeah, we're still not half as bad as probably Detroit, I guess. But, we're pretty bad.
Well, Joe, I love you so much. We'll do this again soon. You stay on the line. I'm going to wrap up the podcast here. We'll let these people get on their way, and we'll see you next week.
Well,